Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and we are back for something different. Do a different type of video. I feel like we've only done career mode, but actually something that I've actually wanted to do for a minute. I wanted to do it in last year's game too, but I never got the time to do it. But yeah, we're doing it this year, and well, I didn't know if anybody's already did this, but Marcel Kiefer has kind of already did this as well, but we're going to be seeing which car is the fastest in F124. Obviously, I wanted to do this for a while. I feel like I had time to do it, and this is after the update, obviously, because the Ferrari has the updated HP logos. So yeah, I feel like I've been wanting to do this for a minute, and it'd be pretty cool to just, do something different, I mean, still playing career mode, but still, just do something a little bit different. So yeah, but before anybody does this, depending on how many views this gets, I do not have esports pace. All assists are turned off, but I am not that quick, okay? I'm just going to say that now. Take this with a grain of salt. Everybody gets different times, but these are just the times that I got. And I did a maximum of 5 laps for about mainly every car, but, there's been times where sometimes, like, I was like, okay, well, maybe this time is already good enough, so yeah, but especially, I try to do 5 laps at least, but there were some cars where it just it just felt impossible for me to even get multiple laps in. It just was the way it was. So yeah, but we're gonna see which is the fastest. So yeah, obviously all 10 cars, showing y'all all the 10 teams before we get on into it, and then I will post the times. I will be posting the times at the end of the video, but yeah, like I said, maximum of 5 laps. I will show the 2 best runs that I got from those 2 cars, and I will talk about how does it feel, like how did it felt like, you know what I mean? So these are my findings. This is the times that I got. So like I said, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not the quickest, I'm not the fastest, you know what I mean? Blah blah blah. So let's get on into it. But I want to make a prediction before I even set the stamp going. So before I did this, my prediction was if we'll get to the time trial screen, my prediction is I think it's going to be between the Red Bull, Ferrari, or McLaren that is going to be the fastest car. I honestly think it could be the McLaren. It might be one of the quickest cars in the game, but it's going to be one of those 3. I think Aston and Mercedes are going to be close behind. I'd say probably Mercedes maybe ahead of Aston. And then for the bottom 5, I expect maybe Haas or Sauber to be the slowest. Maybe even Williams. I think it might honestly be Sauber or maybe the Haas. I think the RB might be ahead of Alpine. It's going to be close. And we'll be doing laps around Austria since it is Austria race week. Well, as I was recording this, it is Austria race week. So, but yeah, like I said, we'll see what we can do. I will show the setup. Actually, the setup that I'm using is esports driver Otis Lawrence. I'm using his setup that he put in Austria. I don't know what leaderboard time he was, but yeah, I'll show you his setup. And that's the setup we will be running for all the cars. And, well, we're going to try our best to see which is the fastest. But yeah, there's the setup. Like I said, this is his setup, not mine. So yeah, but here we go. For the first of 2 laps, well, technically 5 laps in total, but first lap in the Haas. I went by Constructor Championship order, but I think obviously it was just easier to go by the Haas. So yeah, the Haas though it didn't feel bad, but it doesn't feel great. It feels like it just feels crap, Like again, and the Haas is not terrible, but it's not the best car. But it's surely got to be ahead of the Sauber. I mean, because this car it just handled like. It just handled like your average back marker, but I think once we go further up the list, we'll just see how much improvement the cars have. But yeah, I mean, it's stable. It's not like it's not stable. Like, it is very stable, but I don't like the front end. I feel like it's just got like a weak front end, I feel like, and even the rear, like, it's got a good rear end, but the front end just doesn't feel good, and I don't really like that. It's just not really my cup of tea. Especially, I like a car with a good front end too. And I don't mind a bad rear end, but I do like a stable rear end. But I'm more of a guy that likes the car on the front end side. But yeah, our first lap here. The first lap was a 104.916, so that's not great. But we keep going. We're going to do a second lap here. And this lap is actually the best lap that I got. and I'll be showing you all the times that I got. So yeah, it was a total of 6 laps. I think I didn't do one because I think I got track limits, but yeah, I might as well. I was like, okay, let me do Austria because I just feel like, I mean, it was the track they were at for race week. I could have done Bahrain because that, I mean, that is the track that they do preseason testing on, but since I haven't done many laps around Austria, I feel like it was just better just to go here. So yeah, but second lap though, once I got used to this car, it felt pretty good. I definitely could probably go a little bit faster, I think, after this run, but I just, again, this was the max I could have gotten. I told myself a maximum of 5 laps, even if I think the lap is going to be good enough. I did a maximum of 5, and this is just what I got. So yeah, I definitely could find a good amount of tenths in this car. I think maybe like another like 2 tenths. I feel like it might be. I think I could definitely find more in this car. But yeah, good improvement. And this lap, it's not too great. I think I struggled a little bit, and it's a 104.848. So yeah, I'll show you the times. But yeah, that is it for the Haas, and so far it's in provisionally P1, and there's the times for you. But we're yeah, so very close. So you can see lap 4, 5 through 6, it got a lot faster. But anyways, onto the kick Sauber, and the Sauber felt, it was weird, you know, it felt weird, and it felt weird to drive this thing because, you know, okay, it's bright green. And you know, it felt, it kind of was blinding me through it a little bit when I actually jumped into this car, because I actually never drove the kick Sauber yet. So this is my first laps within this car, but this car felt the same as the Haas. It just felt a little bit better, but it had a, I feel like the front end was better, but the rear end, I feel like it had a decent rear end. So it felt overall better. But it's not like a massive like improvement. It kind of feels similar to the Haas, so I feel like those two cars are gonna probably be fighting for dead last. I mean, I think the Haas should be ahead of the Sauber, but so far, I mean, this lap they're pretty close on time, so we just wait and see. But yeah, like I said, realistic car performance. Let's see what this lap is, and we're about a 10th down, so not looking good for this first run. But we go for a second lap here to see what we can get. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it felt the same. It felt identically the same, and you know, I definitely could probably find maybe like a 10th or so within this car, but like I said, I mean, it just felt literally the same. So it's hard to judge really where the Sauber stands. I mean, because again, I mean, I think in the real life championship, the Sauber is definitely the worst car. I mean, they've made some upgrades to the package, and they're looking pretty competitive in Spain. Well, I wouldn't say too competitive, but they, you know, I think Bottas was looking pretty racy through that first half of the stint. But like I said, even in Canada, they look pretty decently strong in the race. But again, I mean, it's crazy how you know, Sauber back in 2022, obviously when it was called Alfa Romeo, they were like the 4th fastest team, and then now they're like dead last. It's crazy how a year can go. But yeah, once Audi takes over, who knows what we're going to see there. But anyways, cross the checker flag, and this lap is actually faster than the Haas, but it's not a massive improvement. It's only a 104.792. That third lap, I wasn't up, and I was just slow. So yeah, I mean, the 5th lap, it would have been impossible. That was the max I could have got out of it, guys. I even tried more laps. I couldn't get anything out of it. Well, anymore. I just couldn't find any more pace. That's all the pace I had in that Sauber. But yeah, anyways, off to the RB. And this thing felt good. This was a massive improvement compared to, I mean, if the thing felt massively improved over compared to the Haas and the Sauber. I mean, this thing had a good front end. The rear end had a bit of a weak rear end, I feel like the rear end was very weak, but this was actually obviously the best lap will be shown for last, but I mean, it's down so far in the timing, but I mean, overall, if you see the personal best though, I mean, we definitely went faster. You can see by that best lap. So I mean, this thing is pretty quick, but again, I mean, it's you know, it's up by about 5 tenths maybe. But I mean, this thing felt great. It felt phenomenal. I mean, I don't think it has the pace of the Aston, but you know, it could be a dark horse. So you have to see what happens, I guess. But yeah, that was the second lap. Here's actually the main lap that actually it boosted us. But we set a purple sector 3. But yeah, I mean, this thing felt phenomenal. I was really enjoying this RB, and I mean, I love this car too. I mean, I've said it before. This car, it's beautiful. I love the Toro Rosso colors. I've always loved the Toro Rosso colors back then, and that car back in 2018 was just so beautiful. And this thing kind of reminds me of that. Obviously, it's not really the Toro Rosso because, you know, who freaking puts the name Visa Cash App? Like, come on, just call it. Just bring back Scuderia Toro Rosso, man. Bring it back. But anyway, second lap. Like I said, though, car felt good. Good front end and a really stable rear end. I mean, it felt a little bit twitchy going up to turn number 4 through that tight corner, but like I said, I mean, this thing was pretty quick. But high speed, it maybe lacked a little bit of time in the high speed, but overall 4/10 improvement. I'd say this is definitely a step up, and I mean, this thing was clearly ahead of the Sauber. I mean, I think if the RB was that slow, it was going to be that bad. Obviously, RB, their upgrade package is pretty bad, but you know, it's, you know, it happens, you know what I mean? So yeah, but anyways, there's the times, and well, yeah, the fast lap we actually got was a 104.316. I thought that was the best lap. I accidentally showed the wrong lap, so my apologies, but it was close enough, you know what I mean? So yeah, that thing was pretty quick though. 4/10 improvement, I'll take that. That second lap though, but that thing was quick. Anyways, off to the Williams. Well, this thing felt okay. It felt okay, you know, but I just don't know what to say really about the Williams, I guess you could say, because like it didn't feel that good, but it felt okay. It just felt okay, you know what I mean? Front end was I'm trying to be nice. It was okay. Just loads of understeer though through some of the high speed, but again, you know, it's a quick car in the straight line. It's not like it isn't, but again, I think it's just, I think this Williams lacks speed, but this should, I think, be ahead of the Sauber. It's going to be close. It's going to be very close, but again, I expect those two to be fighting for probably the worst on the grid. But yeah, it's weird because I think the Williams back in 2023 was far more competitive compared to what it is this year. So it sucks, but I mean, again, even like in real life, I think this car has the ability to be good, but judging by what happened in Spain, it doesn't look that good. So even Canada, the car looked pretty good, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how it's really going to do around Austria. It's going to be a mixed bag, obviously. I mean, Williams has always, they've been on the back foot recently, so it's going to be challenging for them anyways to begin with, but you just wait and see, and then we see what happens. But yeah, anyways, we keep going now. Like, loads of understeer through some of these corners, and again, maybe I'm pushing the car a little bit too much, where it's like, okay, once I get to the rhythm though, but I couldn't find much time. Like, I felt like it was impossible to find time in this car, and the V-Carb's got it beat through some of these corners. I mean, it's more the V-Carb felt more stable, where I feel like in the high speed with the Williams, I just felt like I had to maybe lift off the gas a little bit, or okay, I know there's time in it, but I can't go any faster, you know what I mean? That's what it felt like. So it was painful, but anyways, that was a decent lap. There's your times. It's not beatable, obviously. I think that's the first car that actually has it beaten the RB. But yeah, anyways, off the Alpine. Well, been driving this car for a minute because obviously it's the car I'm doing in career mode. But overall, Alpine's got a big update, and they've, you know, they're competitive in Spain. They're pretty competitive in Canada, so it'll be interesting to see where they stack up. But again, the the Alpine felt very similar to the RB, but it felt overall better in some aspects. I felt like it was just a little bit better, but it was stable. But I think the weight, I think it's just a little bit. I think it feels like heavy, but it's pretty quick, you know what I mean? And it's weird because, you know, I think Alpine, they're pretty competitive, but, you know, I mean, they're not top 5 competitive, but, you know, they were pretty competitive back in 2022. Obviously 2023 was a bit of a down year for Alpine, I'd say, probably one of the worst. That team it's just management. But yeah, Alpine's still like they're struggling just to, you know, find that old Renault form. And I think ever since Alpine took over the team, well, now that Renault I mean, Renault is still involved, but I think since Alpine has been, you know, when they renamed to Alpine, it's just been, they've had it just, I don't know what this, I'm trying to be nice, but the team is just never going to go anywhere forward if they just keep on acting like this. Like, it's quite a joke the way that the Alpine is, and how just how the whole organization is run. You know, how they were like, oh, they're a 100 race plan, and then they just they can't find anything, and then everyone catches up, and then at the start of the season, Alpine was actually in the bin, and well, they're in the bin, and well, Oscar Piastri, bro, you are lucky to get a contract at McLaren, because hell, I would have felt bad if you had to drive this Alpine, because you definitely deserve better, and you're much happier in McLaren. So thank you, Oscar. And but yeah, let's get back to what this lap is. This lap is definitely faster than the RB. It's about like a tenth up though, so it's gonna be very close. Come across the checker flag now, and very wide through that last corner, but it's gonna be ahead, barely ahead, and that's the best lap I got out of that Alpine. But yeah, I mean, that lap felt good. That felt good. Very stable through high speed. I'll take that. But here we go. Now off to a car that should arguably even be faster than before. It's the Aston. And, well, this Aston felt pretty damn good. And it's weird because it's like, okay, maybe I was expecting the Aston to maybe be falling towards that chasing pack. Because I think Aston is slowly becoming... I feel like Aston's just... It's crazy how much they've fallen off in 2023, and this year, I mean, this car is not that good, but it feels very good in the game, which feels weird, obviously. I mean, anything could change over time, but, like, it's not... The Aston's not that competitive, man. It's just... It's crazy how, you know, in Canada, and they're just falling into a midfield team, and it's crazy how Alonso committed back to this project. I feel like he could have had an offer. He could have went to Red Bull if he wanted to, but he stayed with Aston on a 2-year deal. I mean, hell, I'm just saying. I mean, he could still possibly even join Red Bull if he wants to get out of his Aston deal. I feel like there is an exit clause in that contract. Well, I mean, there's got to be an exit clause in that contract. There's no way there isn't. But he's extended through 2026. But anyways. This is the best lap we got in this Aston, but yeah, it felt, but like I said, y'all, like this thing felt, it felt good. It felt good, which is weird to say because I expect this thing to be pretty bad. But yeah, on leaderboard times, it's pretty competitive. I mean, we're up in the top 4,000, so we're approaching maybe almost close to 1,000. So yeah, but like I said, I don't have esports base. I'm sorry, but we're putting in some pretty good laps in this Aston, and and again, one lap pace has not really been my thing, but I mean, I've been, like I said, I mean, I'm pushing everything in these cars. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving all the pace I got, and we found so much time and a lot of time because, well, we're just there, and we're almost 2/10, almost 3/10 improvement through the last corner. We're losing a lot of time in that last corner. I don't know why, but I feel like we take too much curb or we take less curb. But yeah, that's a 103.8. That's a massive improvement. That's clearly ahead of everybody else. That is now the fastest car. But this is the package I'm excited for. McLaren. They're up next. This McLaren felt amazing. Like... amazing. Like, dude, I cannot wrap around my head. This thing is fast. I mean, like, I believe right now in real life McLaren has the fastest car right now in real life, but this thing is whew, I mean, like, I've never driven a Formula 1 car before, but like in real life, but this thing is bloody fast. You know, good front end, good rear end, very good stability. You can, like, this thing is, it's chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, man. And these laps were pretty damn good. And again, this, like I said, I mean, in real life, you got a great driver combo in Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, but like they're, man, judging by the way this thing drives, I mean Lando's been in a league of its own, but he's been putting in some great lap times in this McLaren, and on myself, I mean, I'm putting in some good lap times too in this thing. And this thing is, like I said, it's bloody fast, but I lost a little bit of time to that middle sector, but then I gained all that time, and it's a 103.6, so clearly ahead, but I could definitely go faster. And especially on this lap, I mean, again, there's been so many, I had to restart, like, because this thing felt so weird. Like, I had to, like, restart and everything, because again, like, it was so fast. Like, I had to, like, go and reset the times, because I was like, okay, this McLaren is, like, too fast, and I was just exceeding track limits, because I was going over the limit. But like, yeah, this thing was great, and I can't really you know, I don't know what else to say really than this thing is definitely, I won't be surprised if this thing in another future update, if McLaren keep on the form that it is. I think it's going to be tight between this and this Red Bull, but I think McLaren in real life have the fastest car. I think Ferrari might be close, which Ferrari is next, I believe, because they finished third in the standings, so it's going to be close between these two, so we just wait and see. But anyways, cross checker flag now. It's a 105 point. It's a 103.5. I mean, that thing is crazy, and that is it's now the fastest car. And well, we got the big three, well, the original big three, and your big three of Ferrari, McLaren, not Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. So yeah, here we go in the Ferrari, the Scuderia Ferrari HP. First time actually driving with the new HP logos. I kind of miss the old Ferrari a little bit, because you know, no offense to HP, I mean, Ferrari deserves a title sponsor completely, but I don't know, I wish they could maybe like match like HP with maybe like the red. I feel like it would have been cooler, but again, it's like what is it, Alpine, they like BWT, they need pink on the car. I feel like HP, they wanted their colors of white and the blue. So yeah, but overall, I mean, car felt good. I mean, Ferrari feels good, but I don't. It's not quick than the. I'm just saying though, I can't match the McLaren pace. I can't match it. I mean, it's good stability, really good stability, but again, it felt like I couldn't match that pace, and it wasn't like bad. It just, you know, I just felt like I was understeering at scrubbing speed, and some corners, like, I just feel like the Ferrari, maybe there's like a little bit of corners that the Ferrari lacks speed in. So yeah, second lap now. Well, yeah, I was giving this Ferrari full beams. I mean, I was taking a lot of curb, but yeah, like I said, I mean, there's just so much. I feel like the Ferrari struggles a little bit, and obviously this, I believe this update patch came in the performance after Monaco, so expected maybe like Ferrari to be up there, and it was up there. It's not like it wasn't. Like, I mean, judging by the timings that you'll see at the end of the video, because all the timings, I'll put all the displays of the times, but like, yeah, I mean, this thing, trust me, it's quick. It's quick. It's just not. It's not. I just don't think it can match the McLaren, and especially on this lap. I mean, it's close. It's keeping up with it, but again, the McLaren's got to beat in like 10th and so on, and it's mainly through that corner where the high speed that McLaren's got it beat. I mean, the Ferrari just can't match that speed. But through that last quarter too, I mean, this thing is 2/10 down now. I mean, it's crazy. So, but yeah, that's all the laps I had in that Ferrari. There's your times. 5 laps in total. That's all I had. That's all I had. I mean, I definitely could have maybe found a little bit more time, but again, I mean, this thing was quick. So yeah, but here we go. 2 more teams, and Mercedes. What does the Mercedes have? I don't think it can match the top 5, but we give it a go. And I actually do like this Mercedes. I've been a big fan of this livery, and I don't know why, but I was like, oh, I love it. I love this Mercedes car this year, and for me, it's beautiful. It's I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the silver going into the black, but like the blend looks so good. Like yeah. But anyways, how the Mercedes drove though, it felt similar to the Aston. Like, this thing felt like it felt horrible in the high speed. It was crazy. So much understeer. This thing was so bad in the high speed. I cannot tell you how bad this thing was. It was horrible. Like, it was so, like, that's what made this car just not really fun to drive, I guess you could say. But the thing was so bad in the high speed. And I couldn't even give it full beams. Like, I was giving it full beams, but there's just times where I was like, damn, like, I can't go faster. It felt like, damn, I really can't go faster. And it was really a struggle, but overall, I mean, you'll see, like, and especially that wasn't, that kind of ruined the lap now. I mean, this was the best lap I got, but, like, yeah, I mean, it was, like, again, I think I just maybe got on the exit too early, but again, I was trying my damnest to get the best I could, but I had nothing. Like, this Mercedes doesn't feel that great, but I think coming out of Spain and Canada, they've made a big step improvement, and but again, I think that they're still not where they want to be. But I think, you know, this thing compared to the W14, last year's car, I mean, in the preseason and even in like Bahrain FP2, the thing looked great on the onboards, but then once you saw the pace, it didn't look that good. So yeah, but this is the best lap we got. Gave it my all, but the only I could get was a 103.929. So yeah, there's the times though. We invalidated that one lap and it was a 103.6. I will say right now, the reason why I found so much time was because I completely like went so wide at the exit of the last corner, and that's why I didn't gain so much time. So, and I am not going to count invalidated laps, but I definitely could have found a lot of time. But on to the Red Bull. This thing was hard to drive. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, this thing, I was trying, but I mean, you'll see the times, but man, this thing is quick. But it felt impossible for me to drive. Like, it wasn't anything, like, no offense to Red Bull, it was just like I couldn't do anything, and you could judge by the time, like, it went faster. This thing was quick. But, and again, this was the fastest car, obviously, judging by the times, obviously, because you could see that the personal best time. But I mean, this thing was only ahead by like 2/1000 of a second, but I'm telling you, man, this McLaren, that McLaren was very quick, and the Red Bull can match it. It's not like it can't, but again, I could definitely find so much more time in this thing, but it was so hard to find the time, like, to get the car right, to get the setup right, and again, it just, yeah, it was rough, but it wasn't anything rough. But here's the best lap that we got. But yeah, I mean, the amount of times I've spun out and everything, like, it's pointy. Very pointy front end, which obviously I think in all the cars and all the games, like, okay, yeah, the cars are pointy in real life anyways, but this thing felt like, it felt so sensitive in turn one. Like, you just turn in and it would stick. It felt like the McLaren, but this thing was super pointy, and again, very good stability. Very, very, very good stability. I think the stability felt like, I think it's tied with that McLaren, honestly. Like, I feel like those two cars just match. They match the pace. Like, it's like they match, you know, and it's nothing like, they're quick. But about almost a tenth up. I could definitely have found more time in this thing, and I only did a maximum of 3 laps because, like, I was trying my hardest, but I just kept on going off wide and track limits, and it was just, yeah. I was trying, but I just couldn't find it all, so. But yeah, this thing is definitely going to have it beat, but it only beats it by 2/1000ths of a second. That was crazy, and that put us on the leaderboard at 1,769th place. Victory spin there. Thank you very much. But yeah, with that leaderboard though, we're sitting pretty good in the leaderboard times. It's a lot of time trial laps, and it's a 103.592. That puts you 1,000 close to the 1,000, well, towards the top of the 1,000. But yeah, there's your times. There's all the times on the board. Red Bull fastest, McLaren second, Ferrari with it coming in third place out of all the times. And then fourth place, I believe, was the Aston. And it was the Aston, but yeah, like I said, I mean, this Aston, I feel like I could have found more time in that Mercedes, but what I was getting out of this Aston, I don't know, it felt more stable and better in the high speed. So, which was weird, but yeah, but there's that. Mercedes, fifth fastest car, but way ahead of Alpine, trust me. I mean, very good amount ahead of Alpine. Alpine 6th, and RB is 7th. And, well, again, those two are close in times, but then you got 8th place with, like, your actual back markers. I mean, Williams, they couldn't match that. They couldn't match the RB. It was close, but they couldn't match it. And Kick Sauber coming in at 9th. It was, yeah, it felt it felt pretty bad, and especially the Haas too. I mean, this thing, I don't need to say much about those two. They felt the same. I just got more time out the Sauber, but yeah. But yeah, that was it. And thank y'all for watching this video. Pretty cool experiment to do. Might as well do something different. You know, I feel like I've been, you know, just cool to do something different. But yeah, thank y'all for watching this video. Like I said, take these time with a pinch of salt. I'll put down the Marcel Kiefer's video if you want to check that out below. But thank y'all for watching this video. Appreciate you all for the support. I love you all, and I will see y'all in the next one.